to us today. We thank God for another day. We thank Him for continuously taking care of us and leading and guiding us. Say hello, especially to all of our members. And I say again, I miss you. And I will be glad when this is over with, this virus that we're experiencing. But God knows best, and I learned not to question God. I just accept whatever God allows and trust in Him to lead and to guide me. This is a good day, a blessed day, and I thank God for this day. We have a message today, and I hope this message will find you well, and you can draw strength from this lesson today. Let Jesus lead you. Let Jesus lead you. Let Jesus lead you all the way, all the way from earth to glory. Let Jesus lead you all the way. He's a mighty good leader. He's a mighty good leader. All the way. All the way from earth to glory. Let Jesus lead you all the way. Have to have Deacon Knox with us today, and we're going to ask that he would come and take us to the throne of grace.
Oh, to God, here we are once again. We bow our heads and humble heart. We want to thank you for every word that you have given us to say. And most of all, God, we just want to thank you for another day, another day's journey. Because if it had not been for you, we don't know where we'll be, but we thank you for just letting us be here one more time. Lord, we ask that you go into the hospital for the ones who are sick and just bring them back. Because, Lord, it's only you and you alone know But Lord, we ask you to bless all our members
Yes,
that listening on the sound of my voice, because it's you. You made it possible for me to come to say thank you.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you for every member. Thank you for every church that acknowledges what is going through now.
Yes.
But let us be mindful that you're God.
Yes.
You're God all by yourself. And you know how long it's going to take
That's right.
and when it's going to stop.
Yes.
But Lord, we just want to thank you just for letting me be able to say thank you for what you've done for everything for our church
Yes.
and my family and
Yes.
the families of the ones that's going through it right now.
Yes.
Lord, you ask for long prayer, just a pure in heart. And thank you for this time. These and other blessings, we thank you. Amen.
Amen. God bless you. Thank you for that prayer, Deacon Knox. And we're going to continue to pray for everybody. Today's lesson is entitled Standing on the Promises of God. Standing on the promises of God. And I thought this was a good lesson. And I want to share it with you. And hope you will see something in it that I failed to see. I learned that we can all read the scripture and we can all get something different out of that passage of scripture. But Hebrews chapter 6, verses 16 through 20 is our lesson for today. You read this in its entirety, and I guarantee you will be blessed through this lesson. Verse 16 reads, who is made not after the law. Excuse me. Verse 16. For men verily swear by a great and an oath of confirmation is to them an end of all strife. Wherein God willingly more abundantly to show unto the heirs of promise the immutability of his counsel, confirmed it by an oath, that by two immutable things in which it was impossible for God to lie, we might have strong consolation, who have fled for refuge to lay hold upon the hope set before us, which hope we have as an anchor of the soul, both sure and steadfast, and which enters into that within the veil, whether the forerunner is for us, entered even Jesus, made and high priest for even after the order of Melchizedek. Thank God for this particular text today from the book of Hebrews, chapter 6. I want to talk today about standing on the promises of God. Standing on the promises of God. In this particular lesson text, the Hebrew Christians had been going through much persecution for their faith. And they needed the reassurance that they can rely upon God. I call that a promise of security. God has given us a promise of security. And what I love about God, he won't break his promises. Nor will he change his mind. That don't sound like us. When God makes us a promise, it's a promise he keeps. He will not change his mind. Simply because God don't lie. And as I stand here today, give you this word, I am standing on the promises of God. We all know about promises. 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 And one thing about promises, they flow so easily. How many people have made you a promise and they didn't keep it? How many times have you made somebody a promise and you didn't keep it? There have been times that I made promises to my wife, to my children, but I didn't follow through on them. And the first thing that they threw up into my face was, Daddy, you made us a promise. This is not true when it comes to God. And I'm glad that God is not like us. Because God has made us plenty of promises. And he has made good on every promise that he has made. What we need to do is learn how to trust God and believe in his promises. Not only believe in them, but we need to learn how to stand on his promises. The first thing that we need to learn about God and his promises, they are in his time and not ours. They are in his way and not ours. And his promises sometimes are in ways that we least expect. But one thing that I've learned about this God of ours, when he makes you a promise, he is always an on-time God. This is a truth that we can rely upon. You know, I hate for somebody to make me a promise and don't keep it. I would rather for you to say, no, I'm not going to do it, rather than to say, I'm going to do it, and know all the time that you're not going to do it. At least tell the truth. I can deal with the truth better than I can a lie. That used to be a time when a person's word was their bond. But the power of people's word nowadays is not what it used to be. Today we have legalized contracts. Just about everything. Even with all of these contracts, promises that people have, they still disregard them when they get so that they don't like the terms anymore. When I was a child, there were no such thing as a contract. All they had back then was a handshake and a promise. But in the text, God is swearing by who he is and his word. And that's all we have to go on, is God's word. If God said it, it's coming to pass. Because I've come to tell you, God will stand by his word. You can take that to the bank. When God makes a promise, it's a promise. And he will fulfill his promise. I want you to write that down. Number one, God gives us promises. Gives us promise of refuge. Number two, God gives us promise of security. Number three, God gives us a promise of being an anchor. You may not know where stones are coming from, or what the direction that they are coming in. But you can know one thing, that God has promised to take care of us even in the midst of our circumstances. He's always stood by his word. And that's one thing that I love about him, that I can bank on his word. My brothers and my sisters, the writer of this text is telling us we are promised the access to God anytime. Yes, and whatever we need, we are promised if we ask in faith, God will deliver. Yes, he will. He promised us that no matter what he does, one thing he won't do, he won't change his mind. And I know a lot of folks in my lifetime who have stood and made me promises. Yes, and about time for the promise to take place, they came up with an excuse not to keep the promise. But I'm glad that God is not like that. Yes, he promised me that he would stand by me no matter what. It doesn't matter how hard it may rain. It doesn't matter about the storms of life. This God of ours, he promised me that he will stand by me. And I'm making the day, I'm trusting in him. I've learned to depend on him. I've learned that there's no failure in him, because if he promised you something, he's able to deliver. How you know, Robert? Because the earth belongs to him, the sky belongs to him, the water belongs to him, and every creature that walks on the face of the earth belongs to him. And all he has to do is just speak, and things will start happening. Speak, and my promises will be fulfilled. I wish if you had a God like that, and I hope you do, a God you can trust him, a God that'll fight your battle, a God that you can lean on, a God that won't let you down, a God that'll stand by your side, a God who will fight your battle, a God who will lead you in the path of righteousness, a God that'll catch you, a God that'll own you. Yes, one Friday he did me a favor on a hill called Calvary. He died just for me. He died. They buried him, but early Sunday morning he got up for me. Got up with all power in his hands. And And I'm glad he got power. I'm glad he got power. I can stand on his power. Yes, I can. You can stand on it too. He's able to hold us all at the same time. All you gotta do is just trust in him, and he'll fight for you. God bless you. Let us pray. God our Father, we come now, standing on your promises. You promised us that you'll never leave us. You promised us security, safety. And we're standing on your promises. Ask now, Lord, that you would continue to bless us. Continue to keep my church family in your care. I pray for them now, Lord. I miss them, but I pray for them. You're in charge. Pray for the sick, afflicted all over this land and this country. Lord, take care of everybody. We go through this virus that we're going through. Man can't do anything about it. The only thing we can do is just step back and trust you and watch you work. You got to say so. You promised us that you would keep us, bring us to a safe land. In your name I pray.